Hello and welcome back to Talk Living. We're having a wonderful discussion about anti-aging and specifically on skincare today with our studio guests. We're unveiling all the things we need to do in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. We've had the discussion about the 20s. We want you to keep communicating with us. So do text to LTL space, your message, to 84747. Now, Aysha, we talked about what we should do in our 20s. Talk us through the 30s.
So the 30s are often, maybe you've got married or it's after your marriage. I think a lot of girls are obviously looking for that bright complexion. They usually start to notice after the age of 28 that if they have a night out, their skin doesn't recover as quickly afterwards. So again, you do need to have your pillars, you do need to have a good cleanser, a good sunblock, and you can actually start to introduce some active ingredients that will correct the damage that was done before the age of 24, okay?
Oh, I like the idea of correcting stuff
now we're
you've
going to
already done.
bringing out some things that you may have heard of. We usually say ACE for face, so that's vitamin A, C, and E.
Oh, fantastic.
And there's been a lot of innovation around vitamin A. It's actually one of the only FDA approved, that's the Federal Drugs Agency in America, one of their only approved wrinkle-busting ingredients, so you can make claims around it. And you'll see in... there are retinols, for example, used in over-the-counter
vitamin A, retinol.
That is vitamin A, but it's in a derivative where you don't need a doctor's prescription to use it. Now, the key importance about vitamin A is that when I talk about ingredients being corrective, they're actually able to go into your skin, and your skin has, for example, like a computer virus. That was caused by sun, that was caused by all that environmental damage. Vitamin A is a corrective ingredient. It undoes the damage. It increases that cellular renewal process so we can push the damaged skin from the inside out.
Can I say one thing about antioxidants, which is that because I come from the kind of health and wellness perspective, a lot of women, for example, are using a cream with vitamin E in because they know that's an antioxidant. Then they're also perhaps taking a vitamin E as well. Don't. You need to balance your antioxidants. If you do too much vitamin E, it becomes pro-oxidant.
Well, I think
that so you need to do the ACE, the full complement of antioxidants in your cream.
I think that's with anything, because I know that I've used vitamin C in things and it's been too much. So my skin's reacted to it. So you really do need to get someone to look at your skin, unless it's an over-the-counter product where they're not allowed to put too much into it.
I mean, there'll be a lot of people who've maybe used products with retinol in them that will have experienced the same. And it's all about how that ingredient communicates with the skin. And often you'll find the derivative being used is not chemically correct. In our products, we use Nobel Prize winning chemistry. It's called chiral correction. And it actually allows us to purify all these plant-derived ingredients, such as vitamin A, vitamin C, for example, as well, so that they can target the cell directly and avoid causing inflammation.
Because we talked about redness, inflammation, it shows in the skin as redness, which in your 30s into your 40s becomes a big issue. What are you, moving through your 30s into your 40s now, what would you do?
Some of the corrective treatments.
Well, I would still be using, we like to combine antioxidants even in our corrective peels. So, for example, with cosmetics, we have a range of corrective treatments that can be done on the day. We'd have a lot of ladies that are in their 40s, even moving into their 50s, where they've got lines and they have visible discoloration. So I like to use a treatment called Benefit Peel, and that actually combines retinol AGP, which is vitamin A, with some vitamin C. And that's a stable form of vitamin C. And you can leave it on the skin. You can even leave it on overnight. And the type of dryness that you see, because you've got to remember, retinol is a stimulating ingredient. So part of the process is actually getting rid of the old. And that's why we want to see it working. We want to see a little bit of dryness on the surface of your skin.
So you get flaky skin afterwards?
On the third day, you would notice some dryness when you woke up. And I think the best thing to do then is to use an enzyme mask, for example, put your mineral makeup on, and remember you're going to have a lovely new, clean, clear complexion underneath. So it's one of these treatments which you don't need to take a week off work. It's not, 10 years younger, kind of chemical peel where you have to stay at home with the curtains closed. No one will know that you've had anything done. But what's great about these ingredients is you get all the benefits without any of that associated downtime from chemical peels.
Just briefly, because I said we would talk about it, Peptides, something that's been incredibly heavily marketed. I'm quite sceptical, but you actually think they do work, and particularly for women in their 30s, 40s.
You've got to target the skin in different areas. And I think what's good about peptides are they are actually proteins, so they're able to stimulate within the skin the little cell, that fibroblast that actually produces collagen and elastin. And even companies like L'Oreal have done 25-year studies on these peptides, but it's the amount that's being given in the product. and it's actually this delivery mechanism that also counts. So I would always want to look at the complete formula, not just at the hero ingredient that it contains.
I think one of the things that you pointed on earlier too is that, you know, to get a proper diagnosis, there are so many different pieces of equipment out now that you can go in, lights are put on your face that actually analyze your skin, because we can look okay under makeup, but it's amazing when you can see some of these devices.
I don't want to see what's under my skin. If I look okay with makeup, that's good enough for me.
Well, we actually use a device called Reveal, because what we want to do is measure the change in your skin. So yes, we do need to take an account of what kind of pigmentation you have. Is it at the surface, or is it more dermally deep?
We'll have to ask you to come back and bring that machine with us. And
we'll
you can do your, not doing mine, you can do your skin.
Okay.
Aysha, you're actually going to come back at 6:30 tonight for the 6:30 show. So come back and join us at 6:30 to hear more from Aysha. But right now, we talk about exercise, and here are a few exercises to keep you looking young.